What's up, everyone? I think we're live. Make sure you comment below in the chat to let me know that you're watching this live. I'm just gonna check a few seconds. Actually, I don't need this now, so that's good. But yeah, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live. I would appreciate, and that way I can know who's here and we can kind of start in just a few minutes. So I'll wait for some of you guys to join in first, and once that's done, then we'll be able to start and go ahead with this live event. And once again, if you have any questions, you can comment below in the chat, and I'll be answering your questions throughout this event. So it seems to be running fast. Okay. Unable to connect to the chat. Wonderful. Okay, we need to update that. Awesome. So I had some issue going live before, so I just want to make sure that everything is good. And you guys can comment in the chat if you're watching this live, and if everything is good, like the audio is good, the sound, the camera is good, and everything. And we can start. There's no rush, but we'll be able to start with that. I don't know about you guys, but for me, like in the past few weeks, my internet's been so slow for some reason, and I have like the fastest speed possible in Bangkok, so it's quite surprising. Maybe it's like too many people online or something, but it's been quite crazy from what I've seen. So maybe it's the same for you, maybe it's different. You can let me know in the chat. I'll be curious to hear how's it going for you. Okay, that seems to be good. Just waiting for the chat to load. Sorry for that. It's insane. Okay, we have people. So I see Fristen FX and David Johnson. Welcome, guys. So that's good. If you guys are joining me live now, so we have 16 people, which is a good start. Comment in the chat. The chat should be on the side of your screen, this side, I believe, of your screen. And you can just interact with me and ask questions. So this is made to be kind of like a Q&A. And we can talk about some things also about how to quit your job trading. If you have any question on that, we can kind of yeah, we can answer that for sure. David asked, and that's like a random question, but that's good. So David asked, do you do visa runs every month in Thailand? Yes and no. So now no, because you cannot go out, and if you go out, you cannot come back in, which kind of is not fun. In general, what I do is like, before I used to do that, especially if I travel a lot, I can do that, it's fine. But if you come in and out too often in Thailand, they kind of start to ask some questions. And so, like, even last month, I got stopped at the immigration. They asked me a bunch of questions, like why you here, what do you do, why you come back so often, go out so often, and stuff. And that's even before, even the fact that I had a visa. So think about if you have no visa, like on your passport, then they ask you even more questions if you come back all the time. So it turns out that um, what I do is I get a visa, so like a 6 month visa. Then it's like a multiple entry, and that's something you should do like in every country you go to where you go often. Get a visa in your passport. They put in your passport, then you can like go in and out as you wish, and they ask less questions. They're more like okay with it because you have your visa and everything, and that also allows you to in Thailand stay 60 days, not just 30 days like the normal one. So if you go, if you have just the visa on arrival or just the visa exemption, then you're able to just stay 30 days. And 30 days I found, for me, is good most of the time. But there's always like this one time where you want to stay a little bit longer, or like the flight for that week are not good, or you have something coming up the next week after 30 days and you want to like stay in a little bit. It's just like a lot of issues. So 60 days for me is better. I'm trying to get the, like a different visa now over time, but I'm still not there yet, so can't into that for now. But that's how you do it. So it's worth it. First says everywhere internet is very bad. It's possible, very possible. Here in Thailand, it's been like really slow for some reason, and I have like the fastest speed ever, so it's strange. and sometimes like disconnect for no reason too. So we'll see. Ivrar says, can you talk a little bit about the struggle of trying to be a naked trader because it's the right way versus trying to figure out an indicator system? Yeah, that's a good topic. So let's cover that for now. I think this is really good. Everywhere online you go now, they all talk about naked trading, like price action trading, pretty much looking at the chart and trading with price only. That seems to be like the trendy way to do things, and the way where people that do that feel like they're like professionals because they can like look and read the market. It's kind of like go see a doctor, right? And then the doctor, if he's able to like tell you what you have quickly like this, you're gonna be happy, right? Because the doctor is there and he's like competent, he's good. Or like go see like anyone, like a car, or like just like an engineer, and then you have a problem and he's gonna tell you, well, I look at this here, your thing, and that's the problem, that's the issue, and you should do this, that. And it's in principle, people like that. They like to feel like they're in control and that they understand the market and that they know what's gonna happen. Now the issue with that is, well, first of all, these people they have this like illusion that they're good, but they're not that good because price action is still like candlestick, and candlestick are still indicators. So technically, if you wanna be able to predict the price, or if you wanna trade like naked trading, you should use only like line charts pretty much, or only dot charts, which is different, right? So that's something to think about. And also, well, there's nothing wrong with indicators. Like, go see a doctor, and do you think he's gonna do surgery on you with like just his hand and everything? No, he's gonna have like some tools, some things you use, some scans, and those are the same thing as indicators. So why would you be like angry if the doctor has indicators on you and uses tools to look at you and examine you? Like, it's stupid, right? Same thing goes in trading. So you can have tools if these tools help you. Now, if a doctor comes to you and he has like a weird like machine that does nothing, then why would you have that? It's stupid, right? So the doctor's not gonna have it for sure. It's gonna use only what he needs. And same thing for your indicators. Use only what you need, and that's it. The rest you just don't use it. And if something hurts your performance, like in the sense that let's say you have like two indicators on your chart that you use, and then you find out, well, if I only use one, my result would be better. I would take more trades, and that would increase my profit. Then just drop the other one. Like, just use the one that makes you have better performance. That's it. That's what indicators are for. Over the years, people have said, well, like trading is complicated. You didn't have many indicators, and I don't believe that because I only have one, and one works fine, and I can trade with no indicators too. But I just prefer having one because the good thing is indicators are very, very objective. Price action is very subjective unless you have rules around it and everything. But in general, it's quite subjective. Like, you look at the chart, you're like, oh, I think it's gonna go up. I think this is a place where the candlesticks are showing an uptrend, or like a potential for an uptrend in the chart, and that's objective, right? That's something that you say. Then I might say something different. But indicators are clear cut. It's like a number, right? So you cannot really argue with that. The RSI cannot be maybe above 80 or maybe not. It's like it's above 80 or not. So that's why they're helpful. So you might want to use them if you want. I prefer it that way, as opposed to trying like everybody else, like a naked trader. And for me, that works really well. So you gotta use it if you like it, and that's of course up to you. Okay. So that's a good question, by the way. If you guys are joining me live, I see we have a few more people now, and this is not like the peak time because it's like pretty much night time in the US. 11 a.m. here for me. But comment below your question in the chat. I want to hear your questions, of course, and we can cover that. So, by the way, yesterday I did a training about how to create your ideal routine. If you guys attended that, then you know it was awesome and there was a lot of value in it. It took like 2 hours to finish. It was like really in depth. But if you haven't been attending it, or if you want to watch it, we have a replay going on. So I've put the link in the description of this video for the replay. You just click that, and you'll be able to access the replay of the training, and you can watch the whole thing so for free. So that's pretty cool, and that had kind of is like my best tip I've learned from the past I would say like 6 years, because yeah, 6 years of like being serious about it, and the things I learned like helped me a lot to get better result. And ultimately, the goal of this is to be able to help you create a routine for your day to day that you can use even with a full time job. So nothing like fancy, complicated, but just things that you need to implement to be able to kind of trade well, then and also be happy at the same time. Like it's one thing to trade well, but you don't want to be miserable doing it. You have to be happy doing it. So links below for that, and you're gonna be able to watch it if you want. So that's good. Brendan, welcome. Brendan says a live video. Cool. What's up? Well, pretty much the same thing as usual. It's still the same issue in Thailand. Everything's closed, and I've had some issue to resolve this morning, but things are not too bad. So it's pretty good. So this morning, this lady from FedEx calls me, and she's been like calling like every single day, twice a day for like the past 5 days. And I really enjoy my phone because I want to work, I want to be focused. So my phone's usually like somewhere else, and they call like random hours too, like at 8 a.m. when I'm working on doing something, or like at I don't know, like at 2 p.m. when I'm like writing the call or something, doing something interesting. And so she calls. She says like, "Oh, we have a package for you from Canada, but we cannot deliver it. You have to pay this company for like freight forwarding or something, which is ridiculous." And so yeah, I still have to figure that out. Then I tried to call some companies. She sent me a list of like 200 companies, and as she says like, well, these could be able to deliver your package. I'm like, what? It's insane. So I have a guy here that's gonna work this out for me, so that's gonna be helpful, so I don't have to waste time on different things, and just like it's not productive at all, so that should help. Brendan says, what is your favorite market? Well, I trade only Forex, a little bit of stocks like recently, since we have good opportunities for that, but mostly Forex. And in terms of pairs, well, there's no favorite. Like it's kind of like your favorite child. Well, there's no favorite. It's like they all work different ways. There's some that I don't like, but some that I like. But there's no favorite. We can cover that later. Although I didn't trade much the past week, but yeah, I was busy on some other things. But I still took like a few trades anyway. So we can talk about it later for sure. One thing I wanna also remind you guys is I know like in this time, it's like because we have the crisis, we have the virus, and some people lost their job, which is unfortunate. Some people are at home and maybe making the same income, but they feel like there's going to be a crash in the market, and there's been indeed a crash for sure in the market. So people by default are afraid to spend money, and that's totally understandable. There's nothing wrong with that. I think if you don't, if you're like now and you say, "Oh, I want to spend money now on shopping and everything," it's something wrong, right? Something wrong with you. So, but at the same time, you need to understand the fact that now's the time where you can actually shape how your future is going to be, in the sense that in a few weeks or in a few months, right, people will go back to work, and there's going to be two type of people. Number one is like people that are crappy, they're angry, they're mad, they're pissed off because they have to go back to their routine, they have to go to their job they don't like, they have to do things that they don't want to do, and they have to answer to their boss that they hate, and their boss is not going to be happier or anything. Their boss is going to be the same. And then there's going to be people that took this time now to actually work on themselves, to become better, and to increase their skills, and to invest in different things, and to learn different things, and to practice a lot of things. And when they go back to work, they're gonna be in the same routine. They're gonna be doing the exact same thing as before, probably, right? But the difference with these people is that they will have an end date on when they have to leave their or on when they want to leave their job. So maybe they go to work like in like they go back to work like a month, but then they have in mind, well, like, yeah, I go back to work now, but in 3 to 6 months, I'm out and I'm not gonna work anymore on this job. And that's the difference, right? So now you decide who you want to be. And for me, it's the same thing. I was thinking first, like, oh, I'm gonna be careful with money. Business is not good. Trading is somewhat good, but like things could happen, so I want to be careful. And I didn't spend money for like the last 3 weeks. And then I thought, well, now is the best time to spend money. Now is the best time to work on myself. And so yesterday, or like a few days ago, I bought a coaching program from a trader to kind of get better at that, on the mindset part especially, just because I want to improve myself. And every time I invested in my trading, in terms of like courses or programs or anything, I got better. Right, so you might want to do the same too. Even if it's like maybe a little bit tight right now, and even if like it's a stretch, and if not, it's for sure not comfortable. Like for the past like 2 weeks, I was thinking about it. Like, oh, I should join like a coaching program or something with this like really good psychologist. And I'm like, maybe not. It's not a good. It's not a good time. I'll wait till like things get better. Then the next time, like, oh, I should really invest in the program. And then I'm like, oh, no, I'm not sure. It's not the good time. I'm gonna spend like 4K on that, and I'm not sure. Then I'm like, I just did it, and so now things will like move forward and evolve. And I think that's what you should do. Like, you shouldn't be afraid of what things happen and what the market's doing anyway. Because if you're afraid, then your results suffer. And if your results suffer, then you're more afraid. And then if you're more afraid, then your results suffer more. And then you're stuck in this cycle until things get back to normal and you have like a breakthrough and everything. But that's something you want to think about, okay? And I'm not saying you have to join the academy at all. I'm just saying that I think now's the best time to invest in yourself. Or if you don't want to invest in yourself, do things that will help you move forward and grow when you go back to work and have an end date to be able, if you want to quit your job or do things different. That's the principle. So have a quick look at the chat here, just to see. So Brendan, that's answered. Good. David says, I have a question about taxes. Jeez, I hate that. Do you have to do that yourself? Is it complicated? I don't do it myself anymore, and that's probably like the best decision ever in terms of peace of mind and not getting crazy about it. So the past year, I've done my taxes mostly myself, as someone to help me a little bit. So like I'm thinking like 2018, and now, well, the past year, like 2019, I'm definitely getting someone to do my taxes for sure, because it's just like in 2018 at the end of the year, I spent like 2 or 3 weeks in depth going through everything, going through the expenses and the revenues and everything for the business and for my trading, for both things. And that was just a mess, right? That was a complete mess. And I don't want to have to deal with that again. It's just too much time. You have to look at the amount, and you have to put them into Excel. You have to add them up. You have to do this and that, and it's just not worth it. So then you have to use the software to submit your taxes, review everything, make no mistakes, and that's time that you spend away from the market. Like in that time, I couldn't pretty much trade at all because I was always there in the taxes from morning to night. So nothing I want to do anyway, and I don't have a passion for these kind of things. So I'm leaving it to someone else, and that's just easier because they know the rules better than I do, and they're able to do things that I didn't think about. So why not do it? Like the time I will be able to spend and the clarity and the peace of mind is worth a lot more than the time I will spend doing taxes, or actually the amount I pay for a tax professional to do it. So I think that's totally worth it. Um, Attila says, do you take your entrance or your entry based on indicators or price action? Indicators are always delay. And is it good to trade several strategies or not? Okay, so that's two questions. Well, indicators, yeah, they're delayed, right? But that's how they're made. They're used to use old data to and like, how do you want to use like current data to take a trade? That way you have to like be in the market, then like see every tick, and oh, I need to buy now. It's the time, right? That's like using like present data. Price action is also past data. It's the same thing. You look at candlestick in the past, that's past data. You look at a candlestick that just closed, that's also past data. That's not new, right? So you can do the same thing with indicators. You can put it to like the past candlestick if you want. Use only that, but then your result won't be good because indicators are used to a lot of past data, and that's how you kind of work with things. So yeah, it's all past data anyway. Like there's no one that's gonna be in the market, and then like the thing is, even if you use like a 5 minute candlestick, right? And then you see the candlestick close, and you're like, oh, I enter a trade. Well, it's past data anyway. It's past candlestick. So that's how everyone trades. It's totally fun. Now, it depends how much past data you want to use, and everyone uses past data because we cannot see future data anyway. We cannot use that, and we cannot predict anything anyway. So it's all past data. I think it makes no difference. Regarding the question of is it good to trade several strategies? Well, I used to think no, not multiple strategies, only one different market condition. Now I see that with the crash, it's kind of good to have some that you use sometimes. Not all the time, because that might be a little bit too tricky for some people, but at least sometime. Like when there's a crash or when there's big trends, and you jump on these strategies and you can trade them. But you gotta have mastered them first, of course. So master your strategies first, and then when it's time to trade them, you can trade them. So I learned some strategies for trends a few months back, and turns out to be good because now I can use them in trends when the market crash or anything, or when the market goes back up. So that proved to be useful, and that's something that I think you should do too. And there's nothing wrong with having multiple strategies, but at first you got to go through one, then the next one, then the next one, over time as you move forward. Awesome. So that's good. Namge asked, do you think London session is better in finding the swing trade setup? No, in swing trading, there's no different market, so there's no session better. I think that most of my trades, for me at least, come through the London or the US session, less in the Asian session, but still, there's still a lot of trades there. So I would say as long as the market moves enough, so like London and New York, then you can take swing trades. And I don't think London is the best. I used to, though. It's interesting. So I found like a spot where I used to enter a lot of trades in the past, and that was 5 a.m. So on the candle close at 5 a.m. Eastern time, which is should be around like I think it's around what, like 10 a.m. London or something. So it's interesting. I found in the past that this time was really good for trades, to enter trades, at least for my strategy. So it's kind of like the overlap of both. Could work too. I'm not sure. I didn't really research that much, but that was a pretty good time for trades. Trades that will, like, you enter them, then they go in your favor really quickly. So just a thought, random thought on this. Brendan asked, how does traveling affect the way you file through? So taxes, you pay Canadian. Yeah, I do pay Canadian taxes, at least this year. So last year 2019, this year 2020 might be different, because my business is set up somewhere else, and I'll be trading somewhere else too. So I'll have to kind of research that and look into that soon. But I kind of have an idea of how that works, and so yeah, it's still the same principle anyway. If you have some even bank account or something in Canada, you just have to report there, even if you have no revenue. Um, so yeah. Rajiv says, I'm here from the Caribbean. Currently make 1% per day. Is that good percent in gain? Yeah, it's really good. 1% a day is like really good. I have a video that I've done in the past on how much returns traders make in general, like the big traders, and they make between like 5 to, or even like between 2 to 10% per month. So if you do more than that, you might be over risking. You have to take a look at that too, because if you want to like get investors, then that's gonna be too much risk for them. But 1% a day is fun. So as long as you're consistent with that and you don't risk too much, of course. At what point is trading a business better than doing so as an individual? Love your content and appreciate the time of the service, your time and effort. Awesome. So yeah, so I believe in the fact that you should set up your trading as a business from the start, and I don't mean like register it as a business, but like set it up in the way that you do things. That way, when it's time to make it a business, it's easier because you have kept track of everything, and you're really organized. I think that helps really well to be able to scale things up. Now, when it's time to register, well, it kind of depends. So I I'm not gonna do the math here, but I know there's a difference with like, because if you trade and you have a full time job, then you have trading as a capital gain, at least in Canada, so that you pay less taxes. But then if you have no job, if you get no other income, then trading cannot be capital gain because it has to be your full time income. So then you pay more taxes. If you have a business, you pay less taxes. For me, it's been because I moved my business to a different country, so I'm in a country where trading has no taxes on it, so that makes a big difference. But then if you're in Canada, then I'm not sure about the math. I didn't think about this because I didn't want to incorporate in Canada ever. But if you want to do that, or in like some other countries, then you have to look into it for sure and get advice from a professional. Do you mostly do technical analysis? Yeah, only technical. Reggie. Manny says, what's the best source to learn swing trading? Well, my YouTube channel has a lot of videos on that. You can research swing trading, desire to trade. You'll find videos on that for sure. And there's a lot of them. So no worries with that. And we also have the academy. If you want to learn from us and work with us directly. Black Belt says, if one day we live under the world currency, what will happen with forced traders? Well, okay, so that's a funny question. But let's say that we live in a world where there's no currencies and you've built your trading skills, you're super good at trading. Well, you move to a different market. That's it. Like you move to stocks, move to something else, move to indices, anything. So once you build a skill of trading, you can move to different markets. You can move to anything. You just have to maybe like adjust and learn a little bit. but that's something you can easily transfer. And guess what? If you learn trading, you have skills that you can transfer to any business in the world. You can even work in sales because you'll be used to like numbers and stuff, and a lot of numbers. You can even work in logistics because you'll be used to being organized and having routines and processes. You can do anything you want. So you can be a consultant, perhaps, I don't know. But so there's no worries with that. You can always use your skills, other in other fields and trading. Okay, so but that's a good question. You can just, I think, move markets. Reggie says, do you only want to trade solo, or are you looking to create a hedge fund? Actually, I'm not sure about that. I'm thinking about it a little bit. I had this kind of guy I'm working with, Michael Tama, kind of bringing to me the idea of like starting a fund, and I'm not sure about it. I think I might want to do it. I would definitely need to get a license and like do it the right way, of course, but I'm still not sure about it. So I need to think about that a little bit more. Awesome. Um, yeah, Reggie says, can you live in Canada but open a trading business in a country where you don't pay taxes? Of course, that's totally fun. However, most countries are like solid for this, not because like some countries you can do it, but like their things are shaky. It's not like super good. It's like you want to be careful there. So especially like the countries in the Caribbean. No offense to anyone from the Caribbean, but some structures like the legal structure there are a little bit like shaky and stuff. So the thing is, if you do it in a country where it's like really rigid and solid and everything, and like I've done, then the thing is like, well, they ask more questions. So you cannot, like, if you live in Canada, you can't set up a business there because they're gonna ask you like why you want to set up a business here. And if you say pay no taxes, it's not gonna work. So you gotta have other reasons than that. Like for me, I have other reasons too. It's not just for taxes. Taxes is a compliment, but then there's other reason why I set this up here. Like I travel a lot, so I'm rarely in Canada. So if I have a business in Canada, it's hard for me to maintain. Also, I work with people like in Asia all the time, so that's a good thing to add. So, but it's like quite hard to set it up the right way there. And also, if you want to open a bank account, then that's really, really crazy. So, something to think about. Um, and then it has to be worth it for you too, because like the cost to incorporate and everything, it's not that high. It's like $3,000 or $4,000, or a little bit more depending on what you do and stuff. But yeah, you have to be careful with that. You have to do it the right way, of course. I'm looking at the chat here. Wes says, how old are you? 25. Yes, I'm 25. Like Shay, can trading only one pair improve the way we trade and the result? Of course, but it depends. You have to trade it the right way. So before, like earlier, we talked about different strategies and stuff. If you want to trade one pair, that's fine, but trade multiple strategies on the same pair and actually try to day trade. You could swing trade anyway, but I think day trading may be better on that. And yeah, I have an article on this on my blog. I'll just try to find it here. Um, single. See, I'm just typing on Google. Single. Jeez. Okay, find this out. And by the way, you guys try to be careful because I've got like in the past week a lot of messages on Instagram of people that pretend to be me there. There's like a lot of like fake accounts and stuff. So just be careful because I tend to like talk with people a lot on Instagram and stuff. I tend to message people a little bit, but never asking for money. So if you have a message from someone asking for money on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere, then it's for sure not me. So just be careful. Okay. And I get a lot of messages on that, so I kind of want to reduce that. And the thing is, I know some people online, like some coaches, will like post about the fake accounts like all the time. But number one, I want to give them publicity, and second of all, it takes time from valuable work I can do. So if I have the choice between making a video that's helpful for you guys versus posting about these spam accounts, which like there's like 30 a day that are appearing, then I'll for sure do the video instead. So you have to kind of just be careful yourself, and if you're a little bit smart, then you'll find out like what's a fake account, what's not. Because I only have one, like, well, two accounts on Instagram. I have one for the dark trade, and one is my own account. So you can follow me there if you want. But if it's like uh, a different name, or like And these people, they have like Bitcoin in their name or something, or they have yeah, like account manager. Then that's not me. So just be careful. So I'll put a link here in the chat, and that's the link about an article I put about how to trade only one currency pair. You can just read this. I think there might be a video or something if you want. So it's gonna be helpful. Let's go back. Fernando asks, "How long can I take to become a successful trader?" Well, here's the thing: becoming successful in trading doesn't take much time. What takes a lot of time is how much time people waste. So for me, I wasted like 2 years of doing nothing, just trying to do it on my own, and that was time wasted. Now, once you get to you do the right step, you get a coach, you get a mentor, and you do things right, then that only takes like a year to transform yourself and achieve big things. Even 6 months if you do it right and fast. So it doesn't take much time, but you gotta do it the right way. And I also have videos on that on my channel if you want to watch them. So yeah. Mexico says, "Is it normal to have a negative year on a particular pair?" Yeah, it could happen. Just make sure to understand why that happens and if you need to change the strategy. Like, it's wrong to think that you can trade the same pair for 25 years with no down year. Right? That's not gonna happen. What you could do is you could like try to cut these years. Like, this is not profitable for 10 trades or something, then cut the pair and trade it with a lower size. Once it's back to normal and your win rate improves, then trade it bigger, like a regular size. So you can do that, and you'll be able to kind of cut the bad years and just keep going on the good ones. And if it's not profitable for some time, then just don't trade it and cut it at all completely. So that's what you can do. For example, with my style, like your USD was really good, like 2008, 2013, 14, maybe 15. After that, like now it's becoming crap. So I'm not trading it anymore. I actually trade it with like a smaller size, like a 0.01 lot, just for the sake of keeping the stats on my account. But I'm not trading it to make money at all. So that's how you want to do things. Brandon's son says, "So you say you're a technical trader, but I've often had fundamentals completely ruin my trades. How do you balance that?" Well, here's the thing, right? You have fundamentals ruin your trades sometimes, and sometimes you have fundamentals boost your trades, like make you achieve a profit faster, your profit target. So both things work. If you have a profit target that's bigger than your stop loss, then you're gonna make more money on that. And if the news like give you move in your direction 50% of the time and against you 50% of the time, so half and half, then you're gonna make more money over time. So that's kind of how I see things. And plus, when I backtest things and I like trade in the past and test strategies and everything, I never look at the news in the past. So why look at the news in the present? It doesn't make sense. So that's why. Um, okay, let me go to Duke. Duke says, "Do you still read price action after you have an algo?" I still do. I still look at the chart every single day. And especially now with the market we have, I don't trade my algo for now. I turn it off for like a week or two, and I'll get back trading the algo once it gets back to normal. So I'm not trading manual, and I still look at the chart like every day, so it's good. Richard Charge says, "If investors want to give you capital, should you create a hedge fund? Do you need to get licensed? It depends where you are located, like which country, and what the rules are there. So in Canada, you can like stretch it to a little bit, where if they're your friend, then you don't have to register and everything. But then it depends on the amount and all that stuff. But if you go beyond that, like if you have like 20 friends giving you money, then something's wrong, right? They're not your friends. So you have to think about that and then set it up the right way based on that." Master 888 says, "Do you trading these days? Everyone expect a crash. Plus, are so many flash crashes nowadays. How do you deal with that?" Well, I still do the same. So flash crashes, they might happen. That's why you don't want to risk too much. But at the same time, I've never been in a trade with a flash crash. Like my setup doesn't take place with these crash sometimes. Most of the time, actually, it's never happened. So I don't worry about it too much. Plus, the worst case that can happen is I'll blow up an account if there's like a big crash, but that's not a big deal for me. So I have it set up where not all my money's in my account. It's just part of it. So But it's still the same. And with the market crash, you can make a lot of money too. So you just have to adapt your style to trading trends and going short too. And especially currencies, they will move in both directions, up and down. You've seen that the past 2 weeks. The many currencies have been like up quite a bit, and that's the principle here to apply. Reggie says there are a lot of fake people on social media just trying to sell false dreams to new traders, like single services. What advice would you give to new traders to prevent them from being caught? Well, it's simple. So we talk about these fake accounts first. So a lot of people try to pretend to be me on social media, and that's never gonna stop. So you might try to adjust to it anyway. The other thing is like, I would say stay away from people that talk about singles, because singles never help anyone to be successful. I've never heard any trader that's making millions following singles, so that's not gonna happen. And well, the other thing is, think about this. So one thing I like to do, like when I buy a course or a program or I think for someone, which I did like not long ago, which I said before, I like to look at, did I get results from that person like for free before? So one thing that I believe in is I want to give people results for free through my videos, through things I do, through my emails and whatever. I want to make sure they get some results and momentum for free. And then if they want to work with me, then that's fine. But I try to kind of make sure that people get results for free, because then they can know like that I give them result, and that's the point. So if you follow someone like they just post about their cars, then you don't get a result from them. You don't get any advice, any like tangible result from them. And how come you expect them to give you result when you pay them? It's not gonna happen. So that's what I follow. Like when I can get result from someone for free by talking with them or something, and that's not like motivation, because like you can see a car, that's motivation, but that's not result. Motivation doesn't get you anywhere. So you have to look at what result you get, what advice they give you that you apply and that worked, and then if you do that and you get result, then yeah, you can you probably get more with them when you pay for the course or the program. But if you don't, then there's no point paying for any course or any program because you didn't get any result. Reggie says, I hear that you mostly trade Bollinger Bands. Do you trade in a I think, do you trade in a way where you see what currency pairs validate your criteria with your technical analysis? Yeah. So I look at the context first, then I look at the setup, then I enter trades if that match. So it has to match the right context. It has to be at a support or resistance area first, and it has to be in a particular market, so not like anywhere. And I've done videos on that in the past, so I won't cover it now, but yeah, it's been covered in the past many times. Do you have a free Discord group? No, we don't have a Discord group. Only YouTube. And all social media, of course. Do you know or care about the cut? So the commitment of traders? No, I don't. I've looked at this once and I said like, what a useless document. So I don't care about it at all. And I guess you could use it some ways, but I just don't see the use for it in my trading. So I guess you want to look for long-term trades that could work, but it's not really useful in my case. How did you create your algo? Is it basically an expert advisor that you created? Yeah. So algo and expert advisors are the same for me. They're like script you on MT4. So yeah, it's that. I took my rules. I first made it into a way that I'll get notification on my phone for different trades that would happen, like different setup, and that worked well. Then we took it to the next level with Alejandro, who's in my academy. He's working with me now, and this guy's like really good at coding, so he coded the whole thing for me. So that now the algo is doing two things: it's sending an alert when there's a trade setup, and it's also taking the trade itself, so that you don't have to be there pretty much. And that works well now. So we have this set up, and it's also available in our academy if you want to have it. You interview dozens of big traders or big names in the trading industry. Have anybody shared their strategies or their stats? I think strategies. Yeah, a lot of them do on social media. None on the podcast, because like the podcast is like audio based, right? It's not video based, but it's not a place to kind of share strategies. It's a place to share the story, share the tips, and not the strategies. So it's not the place for that. But if you follow them, then you can learn about what they trade for sure. Totally fine. With your experience being realistic, what is your success percentages on daily trades? Well, I guess my strategy is about 48% win rate. It can go all the way to 38 depending on how I trade it. But yeah, around 48%. How many, and that's with like the target that I use, like 3 to 1 and 1 to 1. How many pairs do you trade, and how you manage to choose those pairs? Well, simple. I backtested some pairs, a lot of pairs, and the pair that worked the best or that were profitable, I trade them. And the ones that were not, I don't trade them. So it's all based on data. And I review every single month how my pairs perform. If there's a pair that's unprofitable and I took enough trades, I might cut it. And then if I see a pair that I didn't trade before, I might test it, see how it works, and then trade it in the future. Also, what is your past professional experience? Are you from finance or coding IT field? No, I'm from logistics, so business. I did a bachelor in business, so in Montreal, and it was like the supply chain management sub area. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so I appreciate you for being here. As I said, we have the replay of the training I did yesterday, the whole webinar. It's a 2 hour training below, so you can watch this there. Click the link in the description to watch this. And I've kind of shared in this training how to be able to create your ideal routine as a trader, even if you have a full-time job, so that you can apply it now and get some really big momentum. And in the future, when you have your full-time job, you can apply it too, so that you're able to kind of, first of all, get better result, because the things you do daily dictates, the things you do daily dictate, the things you do daily are gonna dictate your results. And also, we want to make sure you're happy and fulfilled with your routine. So that's what we cover in this training. Link below, and it's going to be there for only, I believe, 24 or 48 hours, so make sure you watch it in time. And with that being said, I'll catch you back here in the next video in a few days. I just want to ask a few questions here. So Reggie says, how do you test your strategies? Do you simply use strategy tester on NT4? No, I have a video on that on my channel. It's called Soft Forex. Tap Soft Forex. It's soft, like mellow soft. 4 FX. Desire to trade on YouTube. You'll find a video there on how I backtesting. That's like the best way to go. And yeah, so you can watch this. And what university did you go to? It was John Molson School of Business, so in Montreal. Alright guys, I appreciate you for being here once again. Thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you back here in the next video pretty soon. Ciao.